Hey everybody, welcome to the Shrip City Report. It is that time of year in Charleston, South Carolina, specifically North Charleston, South Carolina, where Kulture Klash is happening. It is the fall. It is November. It is Kulture Klash with K's, by the way, if you haven't known yet. And of course, this podcast is Charleston's brightest and best podcast on living, entertainment, and leisure. Today we have the founders, the spiritual guides of Kulture Klash. We have Big Hair Dave. How you doing?
Yeah.
And we have Gustavo, our buddy that we talked to last year.
What up?
This is Wednesday preceding. We'll shoot this out as soon as possible. My lovely wife, Madeline, and I were walking around, and this is the first year I've gotten to see the bones of a Kulture Klash getting built up. I think some people didn't come and see all the gaga and everything that's so great Saturday. This is kind of perspective changing for me. How long does it take to start Kulture Klash? When do you start planning this and getting it going?
I personally haven't left since the last Kulture Klash.
Oh, yeah?
So I don't know about the other people, but yeah, it's kind of one of those where once you start Kulture Clashing, it's hard to stop. But no, it's really cool. I mean, the fact that we have Building 64 as our home base and venue and canvas to be able to create Kulture Klash and tons of other cool, crazy events, it gives a lot of infrastructure that we've never had before. And to be able to have amazing sound, light, video, laser, a lot like previous Kulture Clashes in the old days, we had to build it all from scratch. And so
for a weekend.
Yeah. And for a weekend. And then you have to tear it all down. So this is actually what you're witnessing, all the work that this is actually significantly less work than what it used to be in the old days of there wasn't any power. There wasn't a stage. There wasn't a roof. There wasn't a wall to hang art on. And so now that we're actually, getting to live it up in this massive warehouse with some infrastructure. But, one of the craziest things is it takes a lot of work, and Scott does an amazing job with this, one of the other founders, to find all these artists. And then not only find all these artists, but then get together, I think we're over 800 pieces right now. And so then you coordinate with all these artists and get all the pieces, and then you see this mountain of art, and then you're like, oh, wait,
wow,
where are we going to put all this art? Because
we need more walls.
Yeah, the last thing I ever expected was 40,000 square foot warehouse to feel like it's too small, and we're running out of space to put art.
Yeah, Building 64 is where it's happening this year and where it was last year. So we walked in and Gustavo's painting panels.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, are you going to be doing that kind of rich turning until the opening?
Well, I'm sure it'll be going to the very end, but I will say, this year it feels like we're way more calm. We're ahead of schedule. We got people helping. Things are getting hung up early, and it feels positive in that department. I think it's just been a lot of teamwork, planning this thing over a year, phone calls, decisions, booking artists, seeing if they're available, all these things. And now it's really, coming to fruition this week is when it really all starts to happen. So it's very exciting. And,
and it's, it's one of the things that's cool about Kulture Klash, and a lot of these things we do, but especially Kulture Klash, is we'll come up with ridiculously crazy big ideas. And so it's one thing to come up with a big crazy idea, but then when you're figuring out, okay, how I actually have to make this real. And so one of the big things we're featuring is we have a 20-foot by 20-foot double-sided Shepard Fairey piece. And so to be able to talk Shepard into doing a piece like that, and then he's telling me, he's like, yo, Big Hair, are you sure you want 20 by 20? I was like, yeah, we want 20 by 20. We got this giant venue and
give me the
crane.
jumbo. Yeah.
I got the big crane. We're going to do 20 by 20. And then we have these amazing contractors and people that are helping us out. And now we're actually last night we're taking all the design and the parts and building it and, lifting it up. And then you realize that
20 by 20 is huge.
20 by 20 is huge. And we're all the way floor to ceiling almost with one of the most massive walls that's going to be turned into an art piece. So it's like this big crazy idea when you're like, oh yeah, 20 by 20. And now we had to go through the painstaking task of actually setting it up and getting it ready, and now to watch the art be installed on it, it's crazy cool.
That's amazing, because I was going to ask you, vision and management, that's kind of hard, or expectations, you dig? It's kind of hard to balance those, right? You just spoke about that with the 20-foot piece. Who's around you, your significant others? Does anybody ever pull the reins on the ideas that you guys have?
I mean, my wife gave up on that a long time.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Same here. I mean, it's really collaborative. I mean, we have a group of amazing people that really want to help and make this thing the best. And so we're always on phone calls, on different threads, and, who can we get to make this thing happen? And, like I said earlier, just everybody comes together, and all of a sudden, you look up and there's a 20 by 20 wall hanging off, one of these cranes. So definitely very cool.
And one thing that also helps too is we have a really awesome track record of throwing amazing parties. And so it's not just to the audience, but to the artists. So like for us, for example, booking Z Trip and DMC came from Charlie Tuna, who was here last year, who was bragging to his friends saying, Big Air and Culture Clash you got to go check this thing out in Charleston. This is an awesome party. So when other artists are talking about how awesome of an experience they had, and then it becomes really easy to book artists that you never thought you'd be able to book.
Yeah.
Like for me as a, such hip hop fan, to see, to have Daryl DMC from Run DMC,
right,
Z Trip, two of the most iconic, legendary names promoting and, having them involved. It's really cool to be able to manifest these giant, crazy ideas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've talked about party, artist, music. So at its essence, explain to us what Culture Clash is.
I'll take that one. I mean, it is a community of artists coming with different mediums of artwork, dance, music styles, culture, fashion. It's just a melting pot of people coming together for a great cause, and really putting it all out there on the wall, and for everybody to come and experience and really get inspired, and really try to inspire young people to see what's possible in the art world, make friends, make connections, make business connections, and really know that you're supporting a great foundation and a cause. It's kind of a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. How many artists do you have this year?
I mean, we're over 100.
Over 100 visual artists. I think there's over 20 musical acts, and then a bunch of performance artists, like all sorts of aerialists and dancers and fire dancers,
people,
circus acts. I mean, the thing that with Culture Clash that I really love is, that even in the name, you get the essence of here's all of these different types of cultures and genres all together in one sort of expression of what's the, this creative explosion of all these different things coming together, because so many things are so divisive, and like so much music is genre based, where you're normally only going to a country concert, or you're only going to a hip hop concert, or and to go to one place where you're getting all of the genres, all the different styles of art, and everybody's coming together in unity to make the greatest overall art experience possible is super uplifting. And it's something I'm really proud to be a part of.
It's impressive because you have all those artists, DMC, everyone, but you also have about 7 other bands playing. How do you pack all, let's say it's going to be November 22nd, by the way, Saturday, North Charleston, Building 64. More information.
We're also having soft art opening on Friday from 6 to 9. It's kid friendly. It's free to the public. You want to come in, take a look, buy art. I already heard some prints are starting to move. So our website's live. All the artwork you can see there already, can't purchase. You got to purchase it on Friday, but come on Friday as well.
Y'all pack a lot into that one night though, with all the music, all the artists and everything. It's just amazing. I mean, you have I guess you have bars going on and other concessions or whatever.
Yeah, no, we have multiple full service bars and a couple cool VIP lounges, a lot of different food trucks. One thing that's really awesome is like all of the concessionary proceeds, like all your drinks and everything go straight to charity. A large portion of the art sales go to charity as well. So like it's split between the artists and the charity. So like what a amazing way to donate money and contribute to charity by drinking and having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's it's a really fun, inspiring cultural event that is great. So when you're, and also we're getting close to where, if you need tax deductions, come on out and buy art. And
good point.
End of the year.
This is the end of the year, right? So, so why are you gonna pay extra money on taxes when you could have an amazing time and walk out with some beautiful art and it's all 100%? Yeah,
that is good, and it's very reasonable. From last year, from what I saw. So, talking about the good works and the charity and everything, who's the primary this year for your charity?
So the Livity Foundation is actually the organization that produces Kulture Klash. So the Livity Foundation is an organization I founded with, a couple other board members, and it's also in a partnership with Kamani Marley, one of Bob Marley's sons.
Yeah.
And so this was one of the main events that our organization wanted to bring back and support.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to this being a cultural event where it's a cultural event that's a charity event in and of itself, we also pick different causes each year to help benefit. So there, whether it's different arts programs, athletic programs, environmental wellness causes, we team up with a lot of other nonprofits and help support them as well, whether it's Surfers Healing, Keepers of the Wild, Heart, a bunch of different organizations. But this year in particular, one of our founding, areas that we started with was the Falmouth United and Love Overall initiative in Jamaica with Kamani Marley. So the area of Falmouth was one of the main areas hit by Hurricane Melissa, where their whole water supply was destroyed, all the roofs, the hospital, like devastated by the strongest hurricane that's ever hit the island.
Sure.
And so we partnered with Water Mission, and it actually went live today. So the water's starting to flow. We're providing, I think it's 10,000 gallons a day of clean drinking water, which can provide the water for, I think, about up to 5,000 people a day.
That's excellent.
So our goal is we have a goal of about $50,000 of what it costs to implement and bring that system. So that's sort of our goal, is to be able to cover the costs of putting this system in and being able to really save this water crisis, because the whole system was contaminated by the hurricane. So
yeah, you don't realize the water situation, and that hurricane, it was so just flabbergastingly big. But then, I was talking to Gustavo, I'm like, it wasn't in the news like too long, and I know it was just abjectly impactful.
Oh yeah,
and they're still reeling from it.
It looks like a bomb went off.
That's just
and it's in a lot of the areas that were hit were areas that are already very impoverished areas, and so when so much of Jamaica that people see, it's all like very wealthy with tourism dollars and hotels and 5-star resorts, and you don't realize that there's millions of people that live off of agriculture and are really living off the land. And when the land and the resources get destroyed, then these people are really struggling. And so it's amazing how little and how short the news cycle was on that issue and how desperately in need that area is. So for us to, really be able to have such a great partner in Water Mission and be able to solve this major problem, it's really powerful. So, it's such a win-win to be able to have such an amazing, fun, awesome event, and then to turn around and have it give back in an area where thousands of people are going to have clean drinking water for all these families. It's, I'm really, really excited. And that's why hopefully anybody that hasn't yet to come out, they go to cultureclashchs.com and buy their tickets. And if you're planning on coming out, buy some art and drink some drinks and have a good time.
Right on.
Yeah.
How are tickets doing? Are there any left out there for us?
VIP is really close to selling out.
Okay.
I think VIP will probably be sold out in the next day or so. Since we are such a big venue, there'll probably be some GA tickets for sure
Okay, good.
at the door. So if you do wait till the last second, you do save money by getting your tickets in advance.
For sure.
If you want to wait till the door and spend a little more money, that's fine. But yeah, no, I'm expecting, around 3,000 or 4,000 people out here for the event. So it's
excellent. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up with that if everyone's good with that. And we will see you on Saturday.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out.
Appreciate you coming
thanks for
out
having
and
us.
sitting with us.
All right, be here and Gustavo and Madeline. We'll catch y'all later.
Yeah.
All right.